I wanted to hold this video back for maybe a little bit until we got our first snow, but a lot of people are already getting their first snow, and plus it's been 2 years since we had a really early snow. Alright, so I have a snow shovel right here, but I couldn't find my smaller one right now. So let's just pretend there's a smaller one over here. So this bigger one right here, firstly you need to know your shovel. So this big shovel right here is definitely going to be covering a lot more space. So this big shovel is probably maybe like 13 or 14 inches. Now this is probably more like 16 or 17 inches long. And as you can see, when I put it up against my driveway like that, it's going to cover a lot more ground than if I were to put a smaller shovel, but it comes with a catch. I can't really use this to shovel my walkway. As you can see, it's just way too hard. It's a little bigger than the walkway itself. So that means that this would not be the ideal shovel to use when shoveling stuff like this. You need to know what your ideal shovel will be, so especially if you're shoveling in a lot smaller areas that require a lot of precision, you want a smaller shovel. But when you're shoveling wide open areas like driveways, that is when you're allowed to use larger shovels. Alright, so to be able to shovel snow, we need to know what type of snow it is. I know you'll be like, oh, this doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter a whole lot. So if it's like, I don't know, maybe 30, 35 degrees out and snow is accumulating on your driveway. So if it's like 30, 35 degrees, you're dealing with that wet and heavy snow. Now, a great way to tell wet and heavy snow. So let's just pretend there's actually snow on here, even though it's like 55 degrees and, you know, there's no snow here. So you take it up, you make it into a ball, and you throw it. So if you throw it and it stays all the way through, it's wet and heavy snow. Now there's actually an in-between between powdery and wet and heavy snow. It's called moderate snow. Sticks to everything just like wet and heavy snow does. The only big thing here is that this snow, it just like it's not that harmful. You can still technically make snowballs out of it, but if you make a snowball out of it, you throw it and it just disintegrates. That's how you know it's this type of snow. And the fluffy snow, and I forgot to say, if you get 4 inches of wet and heavy snow, then you're screwed because you're not going to use a snowblower. But if you get a foot of these two types of snow, you should be good to go. Now, if you can't even make a ball out of anything, that's fluffy snow, and fluffy snow is ridiculously cold. Now that I've just educated you on the different types of snow, I'm going to be showing you a couple techniques that you can use. So let's just grab my little shovel right here. So you know we have the shovel on the driveway, and you see I have my hand right here. I'm going to push it like any shovel, and you see, I know it makes an awful sound, but if there's actually snow on the ground, it's going to make a different sound. So, you know, you shovel it like this. Now, when you find an area, maybe let's just say this is all packed in right over here, this is when you get a little shovel and you shovel through that. Now, the best way is to shovel diagonally. It takes a long time, but if you have a lot of snow on the ground and the plow hasn't yet came through, so when you shovel down, it's potentially going to meet you at the road, and you don't even notice it. But if you shovel diagonally, it's going to be a lot longer before you finally notice you're on the road.